Hey everybody, this daily discourse is on how to set client expectations by describing your deliverables, and it's a really short one. What did I want to say about that? Oh, this is daily discourse number 6 and the 4th one in this series on setting client expectations. So let's just go straight to the slides. Okay. So first let's talk about why you need a deliverables section. The deliverables section gives the client a snapshot of every deliverable for which they will need to provide approval. It allows you to establish how to know when each deliverable is done, the acceptance criteria, and what does it need to include to be acceptable. And it allows you to reiterate how the phases will be laid out. Now, in the complete project management roadmap for WordPress that I'm developing, I'm going to have, pardon me, I'm going to have sample language and templates and everything to help you with this. So we're going to go over this pretty quickly. So what do you need to include in your deliverables section? Everything that requires approval by the client. It's as simple as that. Now you're going to have a lot of other deliverables, but those are interim deliverables or internal deliverables, I should say. And so those don't need to be included in this section. Now, how is the best way to present the deliverables in your deliverables section? I like to use a chart like this that shows the phase, the activity, and then the resulting deliverable or deliverables from that activity. I find this gives a good way of visually representing it. And I'm going to include the full chart for this in my project plan that I use in the complete PM roadmap. For now, this just shows phase 1 to give you an idea. Now, how should you present the acceptance criteria when you're talking about deliverables? Well, you need to list everything that the client would be looking for if he was reviewing this for approval purposes. So in this example, and this might not be all of the acceptance criteria for your functional requirements, but this is an example of the kind of things you'd want to list. List all functions that will be used to meet the agreed upon business requirements. So if it does that, then it meets that criteria. Describes how each listed user function will operate in testable terms. So there could be many more in this section, but that's a good representative sample. Another example is for your content catalog that it contains all the proper lists of pages. It contains an accurate representation of the content that will be included on each page. So there's some examples of how to represent the acceptance criteria. Now, I'm not sure if I was clear on this, but the whole idea about doing this up front is that then the client can't come back and say, well, it didn't have this, so I'm not going to approve it. If it has all the things that you agreed upon at the beginning of the project, then they cannot come back and say, I'm not going to approve it. So that's another reason for setting up these acceptance criteria. And how does this set expectations for your client? Well, it reinforces the importance of establishing acceptance criteria. It reiterates the phased approach and what phases you're going to take. It shows that you're going to use incremental acceptance, and we haven't gotten into that. That'll come up a lot more when we talk about actually creating the statement of work. But you'll have them approve different sections, different deliverables, I should say, that then become sections of your statement of work. And then it also lets them know that adding acceptance criteria after the fact, after you've agreed upon all that, then that's going to invoke the change request process. So even though, oh, I forgot, sorry. If you want to get more training on these types of things, I do have these freebies on my website, the scope creep tip sheet, the content collection roadmap, lesson 1, that's how to do a content first approach, and then the 6 principles for productivity management for WordPress, which is the foundation for all of this other training. So it's a good little mini course to go through. And then finally, join our Facebook group or listen to the Admin Bar podcast or join their Facebook group. The Admin Bar will give you help with your business processes, and although there's a little bit of crossover, I concentrate mostly on the project management part of that. Okay, so really that's it. Here's what I meant to do a minute ago. Even though this is one of the biggest sections in your project documentation, it's a really short section to talk about the expectations that you're going to be setting for the client by describing those deliverables. Please let me know if you have any questions. Let me know in the comments, and I will reiterate again. I sound like a broken record, but if you'd help me by leaving a comment, that helps other people who also might have this interest. Facebook will then present it to them. So I'd certainly appreciate any help in that area. Tomorrow's daily discourse, what is that going to be on? Oh, how to set expectations when you're explaining your estimate of your time and cost. So that should be a good one. Tune in tomorrow, and I will see you soon.